Have you ever watched a house being built? Or built your own home? There is all the pre-building excitement, blueprints, permits, inspectors, approval, contracts, aspirin, and more planning. Finally, the workers come together and build a foundation and the house begins to appear. In the first few months, what do you have? You have nothing more than a skeleton of a house, the frame. If you were to look at other homes, big or small, they would have a similar launch process and a similar way of having the house created. On a project, any project, there are fundamental activities that must happen before the work begins. The rules, management principles, planning, and general guidelines for a project are the project management framework. The project management framework is the skeleton of projects. And, just like a house, even though every project has a general framing, the end results are typically different. The management of a project, the day-to-day activities, is the bones of successful project management. A project manager must monitor, maintain, and control the work of the project to ensure timeliness, accountability, quality, and success. Just as you would not randomly build a home without plans and a level of control, a project requires a level of detail and management to guarantee completion and acceptability. The 5 processes of a project are initiation, planning, execution, control, and closure. The 5 processes interact with one another and allow the project manager, the project sponsor, the project team, and even the stakeholders to witness the progress, success, and, sometimes, failure of a project. These processes are cyclic, iterative, progressively elaborated, and chock-a-block full of work, documentation, and project manager participation. Skim through the Project Management Book of Knowledge Guide. You would not see any chapters related directly to the 5 processes. Instead, you would find chapters on knowledge areas. The 5 processes of the project management life cycle are spread across these knowledge areas. The Project Management Book of Knowledge Guide will cross-reference the 5 processes with the knowledge areas. Project Integration Management Knowledge Area deals first with creating the official project plan. The project plan details can vary based on the size, impact, and priority of the project. Once the project plan is created, integration management ensures the plan is followed. Finally, integrated change control is responsible for managing and controlling changes to the project. The project scope knowledge area encompasses all the required work, and only the required work, necessary to complete the project. Work that does not support the needs of the project is considered out of scope. Project scope management also includes verifying the work that the project team is completing is in alignment with project requirements. Project cost management knowledge area. There are several methods you can use to predict project expenses, depending on the project type. For example, if you've done a similar project, you could rely on your historical information to predict the costs of the current project. Another method you can use is a mathematical formula called parametric modeling. This formula works well with price per unit, like cost per square foot, cost per metric, and so on. In many instances, the proposed project may have widely different costs and aspects that have never been completed before. In these instances, the project manager will rely on traditional bottom-up estimations. Bottom-up estimations start at 0, with each expense accounted for until a grand total is reached. In your cost estimate, you will also need to calculate the cost of travel, hardware, and software needed to complete the project. Do not forget to factor in marketing material, training, petty cash, and monies for team rewards like tickets to bowl games, movies, and other intermittent incentives. Once the project moves into implementation, You will be accountable for the approved budget and will have to keep track of procurements, fees, invoices, and the employee's time. Throughout the project, management is going to want to see how things are progressing in dollars and cents. For starters, you will rely on actual costs against your predicted project baseline. This will only tell you so much. For complex projects, you will really need some advanced method to see the actual progress and monetary value. For this, you will use 9 different formulas to calculate the value of the project, any cost or schedule variances, and evidence that the project will likely finish on time and on budget. The 9 formulas comprise earned value management. In any project, there is a demand for quality. Project quality management planning is the process to ensure that the deliverables of the project satisfy its needs. Project Human Resource Management knowledge area is the process of successfully applying the right resource to the project work in the most effective way to accomplish the project goals while maintaining cost and schedule. Project managers spend the bulk of their time communicating. Half of communicating is listening. When it comes to project communications management knowledge area, know this: it is all about who needs what and when. Risks are events that can affect a project for good or for bad. Project risk management knowledge area is the process of identifying, classifying, and weighing the risks to determine their impact on the project should they come into play. Project procurement management knowledge area is the process of purchasing goods or services from vendors.